There was an upset last night in Division One women's basketball that occurred in the Big 12 tournament. And I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. Number 20 Baylor lost to Colorado 62-53. I want to say a few things first before going over this game. I knew this game was dangerous as soon as the Big 12 bracket for the tournament came out. Assuming that Colorado plays Baylor, the first reason was that the only meeting in Waco this year, Baylor won 56-52. It's hard to beat the same team twice within a year, especially when Colorado wants revenge from a close loss. Colorado has played a lot better since that meeting. They beat TCU in Texas Tech. They were fighting for the NCAA tournament lives. Now I believe Colorado is firmly in the NCAA tournament. There's no questions about it, in my opinion. And simply put, Colorado took it to Baylor early. Baylor's biggest lead was only by 2 points. That's it. Once Colorado took the lead, they never looked back. Even if it got closer. You know what's crazy is Colorado was up as many as 17 points in this game. At halftime, it was 37-25. So a really bad start for Baylor. Colorado only scored 25 points in the second half. Baylor scored 28, but there's honestly more to the game than that. That's why I'm going to go over just the stats. There's no use going last minute. If you really want to look at the last minute of the game, go right ahead. And Baylor didn't shoot the ball great from the field. 31% on 62 attempts. 14% on threes on 21 attempts. If the threes were not falling, drive to the basket. And Baylor was 57% on free throws on 21 attempts. That's 9 misses. So I'm not saying make every single one this game goes to overtime. I'm saying make some and make some more shots. Maybe you have a better chance of getting the game close. 37 rebounds from Baylor in this game. 14 of those offensive. 10 assists, 14 turnovers. Colorado is a good defensive team, by the way, so I knew this game could have been also dangerous as well. And they do have height. Some. Not like 6'7", but you get the point. 5 steals, 4 blocks, 21 fouls. How many points off the bench? I mean, Kaylin Elms with 2 points. Kyle Abraham with 10 points, and she had 6 rebounds as well. Markayla Johnson only had 1 point. Eugene Dong had 6. And Ella Brown actually had 5 points last night. So thus, 12, 1, that's 13, 19, 24 points off the bench and 3 double-digit scores. Talia Scott did not get 20 at all in this game. She had 14. And she was very inefficient. 5 for 21 from the field. 1 for 7 on threes. 3 for 4 on free throws. Dariana Lopez Bugs had a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. But she shot 3 for 8 from the field and 4 for 5 on free throws. And I already kind of mentioned Kyle Abraham. So 34 points right there. And just Eugene Dong with 6 more points. Yeah. Bella Fauntleroy did not have a good game at all. Only 2 points on 1 for 9 shooting. Over 5 on threes. It's been a struggle for her shooting the ball this year. Yet her defense has been good. And honestly, Jen Van Guybeek only had 3 points in this game. So Baylor didn't have enough. Didn't bring enough energy. Simply put, and you could listen to what Nikki Collins said on the post-game radio on the live look-in, if you really want to. And they were just too passive, that starting unit. Nikki Collins said that. And they were trying to bring some other players in, try to do something to rectify the situation. Just unfortunately, they dug themselves too big of a hole. Now, Colorado had how many bench points? 9 from Logan Greer, 21 from Desiree Wooten. I mean, she was 8 for 16 from the field, 3 for 7 on threes, and 2 for 2 on free throws. And Desiree Wooten is like a double-digit scorer, so a really good bench player, to say the least. So that's nerdy, and plus 2 from Ariana Gooden. So 32 bench points. And only 2 double-digit scores later combined for 40 points. That means Zion Walker had 19 points. 6 for 14 from the field. 1 for 3 on threes. 6 for 10 from free throws. And I kind of mentioned Desiree Wooden. And it was and only like one player scored 6 points. This game was looking great. And you know what's crazy is Baylor shut down Jade Mastigallo. She did foul out of the game. She's like a double-digit scorer for them. She only had 3 in this game. And Anel Dutal is like closer to 9 points per game. She only had 5. So, needless to say, they didn't do like enough on defense and offense in this game. And Colorado shot 44% from the field on 50 attempts. Yeah, 22 makes. 38% on threes on 13 attempts. 62% on free throws on 21 attempts. 33 rebounds, 8 of those offensive, 11 assists, 15 turnovers. So they had 1 more assist and 1 more turnover than Baylor did. 7 steals, 3 blocks, 21 fouls. Now I'm going to go to the points out turners, points in the paint, fast break points as well. And points on turners favored Baylor in this game, 13-11. However, fast break points favored Colorado, 9-0. Points in the paint actually favored Baylor in this game, 20-18. Baylor just didn't play with enough pace in this game on offense. Some of it. This is the first time all year that Baylor has lost back-to-back games. So they let 1 loss turn into 2 for the first time. And they're going to have a long time sitting on back-to-back losses before they go to the NCAA tournament. They're definitely not hosting the first 2 rounds of the NCAAs. That is clear by now with this loss. And they did have an outside shot of potentially happening. It's just they needed to do more than win a game or 2. They would have had to go to the Big 12 tournament title game and maybe flat out win it. And also depends about like what happens around the country as well. And they're going to have to use these last 2 games as motivation. Because now, the next time they lose, their season's done. It's a TBD on where they're going to be sent. They're definitely not going to get sent to TCU, who's projected as a 3 seed. They're not doing that because of conference. So that's probably like an Ohio State, a Louisville. Ironically enough, Duke. I would hope the NCAA tournament committee does not do that because Baylor already played Duke earlier this year. So that's just my gut. And maybe some 4 seeds could drop down to a 3. I don't know. So you get the point. Or some 2 seeds drop down to a 3. We'll see. Well, Colorado, your next game is on the road. Next game is against West Virginia today at 5:30 p.m. or a little bit later on ESPN Plus. And Colorado fought hard with West Virginia the first time. They only lost by 6. So we're going to obviously wait and see what happens. And honestly, I don't see Baylor being as better than a 6 seed. Unless they really say, hey, Baylor doesn't have any bad losses. The only bad loss they had this year was just this one. In terms of NCAA tournament seeding. The Texas Tech, at least, losses were to Texas Tech losses are against a 6 seed. So that's not really a bad loss. When I see, there's not a lot. They don't have any, quote, bad losses like the teams that they didn't even make the tournament. They don't have that. And Colorado was receiving votes, not this week, but the week prior as well. So you get the point. And I know there's some people out there that want Nicky Khan to be fired, but here's the deal. There's not going to be a coach like Kim Mulkey or Gino Auriemma or Don Staley walking through that door Be realistic. Look at Texas A&M. Look at Stanford. Look at Tennessee. How much of a step back as a program they have taken ever since the longtime head coaches retired. Even Tennessee, some of those people want Kim Caldwell fired. So I'm just saying, and we'll discuss this down the line. Like, what a stated program for Baylor wins basketball once the season is completely over. But third place in the Big 12 is not mediocre in the regular season. They're literally one win away from a three-way tie for first place. Remember that. If they would beat TCU one of those two times, and also, like, if they beat Texas Tech that first time without Talia Scott, they would not have put themselves in a bad position in terms of conference. And obviously, they have to be better on recently on the road/neutral side. I mean, look, they lost to Texas Tech. They lost to TCU. Now they lost to Colorado. They got to do something better about road games/neutral sites. They're going to go on the road somewhere. It's more like, where are they going to go? And yes, I get they beat UCF, but that's right before the Texas Tech game, before they lost it, before that 31-point game. But they played like 5 games within 12 days in that stretch. Yeah, in general, since like February, how many road games have they really lost? Like 1, 2, 3, technically 3 or 4, like if you include the neutral site. So lately they have been a little bit struggle bus, not really struggling, but they barely beat Cincinnati, and who knows about their head coach. They beat UCF by 30 points, but their head coach, I think, is going to get fired. It's more like, when is it going to happen? So you get the point. Now Baylor has all the time to stew on back-to-back losses and work on some stuff. Because the next time they lose, their season's done. And surely they don't want that to happen anytime soon. Especially like first round or second round. I'm going to just say, whoever's the first round opponent for Baylor, Baylor's going to play a little bit more sense of urgency than you would typically see. Because the last thing they want is to lose 3 straight games. Especially for those seniors like Darion Little-Page-Buggs, who, by the way, has passed Kalani Brown in total career rebounds. At Baylor Faughnoy, a Jane Van Guyonbeek, who came back for a 6th year after missing most of last year with a torn ACL, and there's also Keystron Johnson, as well as who is a senior, though this is her first year at the program. But you get the total picture. So there's no need to dive more on this game. Give Colorado all the credit in the world for this game. And look, Colorado is a good team. And there's a lot of parity in the Big 12. I mean, even TCU lost to Utah, and they're not even making the NCAAs. Even West Virginia lost to Utah as well. Yet they're not making NCAAs. And this is not like Baylor's the only team with the double bye this year to lose. Oklahoma State actually lost. They lost to Kansas State, who literally played on day 1 of the Big 12 tournament. Yeah, Kansas State, obviously, won the first game that beat Texas Tech. I went over that upset. And now to beat Oklahoma State, now in the Big 12 semifinal. So you get the point. And craziness happens in March. And just Baylor needs to learn from these last 2 games. And learn from these last 2 games. And be better going forward. After all, the next time they lose, their season's done. And the last time Baylor did not make the Big 12 title game in the Big 12 tournament, they went on to go to Sweet 16. Granted, they were a 5 seed, but 6 seeds could be 3 seeds if Baylor's that. We'll just see. The worst thing they could be is like a 7. I would hope they would not put them as a 7 because they don't have any bad losses. And if you're going to classify it as a bad loss to like a 10 seed, fine. But it's not like they lost to any non-NCAA tournament team. I mean, look at Texas Tech on their losses. Texas Tech lost to Kansas State twice this year. Obviously, they lost to Colorado, but Colorado's an NCAA tournament team now. But they also lost to Kansas. So, and they're now making NCAAs in general. And they lost to BYU, who might not even make NCAAs as well. So you get the picture. They have more bad losses than Baylor does, even though Baylor lost to Texas Tech twice. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe, and see you guys later on the road. 800 subscribers, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my mind, this course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see us, and the videos help as well. Some more people could watch, and if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And I'm sorry for taking a little bit more time, but I just want to address all that head coach stuff and what does this mean down the line for Baylor. You get the point. And Colorado is definitely going to be sent somewhere for the NCAAs. We just don't know where, obviously. And that's going to be an interesting battle between West Virginia and Colorado. After all, both are good defensive teams. So we'll have to wait and see.